Hey, what's up, you mother cluckers? Is that alright? I don't know, I'm trying a different intro than just, hey everyone. Something a little more creative and to the brand. Overwatch 2 is dead. Sorry, but it's true. But not in player base. That's not what we're talking about. When most people talk about a game being dead, it's usually low player counts and a lack of content. However, that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about what Overwatch 2 was supposed to be that will never be released now. Now, most people know that they've canceled the PvE part. And that is canceled. As much as they're trying to cover it up or be like, oh, well, that's not true, PvE is still coming. Yeah, the same thing that we've been getting since Overwatch 1. That isn't really the same, guys. You know it, we know it. Shut up. And that's the part, the PvE is the part that was Overwatch 2. Otherwise, everything else is just Overwatch 1. And honestly, I don't even agree with that being the 2 part, but that was the only explanation for why they added the 2. Honestly, the PvE should have just been an expansion that they added at some point. It should never have been its own sequel that they were trying to sell it as. The whole thing was a complete mistake. Now, I think Overwatch will always have a player base. It will always be around. I don't think it's going anywhere. Because fundamentally, it is a good game. It is fun to play. I mean, I still play it quite a bit. I was playing it just about every day. I've sort of slowed down here lately. Not because of the PvE. Honestly, I didn't necessarily care about the PvE that much. Especially after seeing the coverage that content creators that got to play it were putting out. It really didn't look that good to me. But I could see that there is potential to have a story mode. I just don't think they know how to make it. However, the PvE had tremendous potential to tell a deeper story outside of just watching the cinematics that they post on YouTube or the few dialogue quips that characters say before a match starts. They could have expanded on the world so much more by having a PvE mode. And on top of that, they could have increased their player base with a PvE mode. It would have brought in an entirely new group of people. In fact, here lately, I've been looking for something more co-op focused, less competitive, just because sometimes I get tired of having to sweat all the time, you know? Everything is just PvP, and I don't want to have to try all the time. Sometimes I want to take it easy and still shoot stuff. And I've actually been going back to Borderlands here lately, just so that way I can do that. But I would like something new that I haven't beat a million times already. And the PvE could have been that for me. I've always thought it was a mistake to stop putting out content for Overwatch 1 to focus on a PvE mode at all. I thought that was a dumb idea to begin with, and it got even more stupid whenever they started trying to call it Overwatch 2. Like, that made zero sense to me. Every time an event would come out, content creators and just the general player base would buy all these loot boxes, and they would make videos of just opening up loot boxes and seeing the skins, and there was hype around the events. There's no more hype around events. YouTuber will make a video being like, oh yeah, this event kind of sucks, and then that's sort of it. You know, when before it was this whole thing where it was like talking about the new game modes, talking about strategies for the game modes, talking about the skins and the new content. And now it's just like, yeah, there's a new game mode. It has some AI turrets that you destroy, and then you capture points. Like, it's so lame. And the skins are so expensive, and the way that they're sold, you know, it's not exciting, you know? YouTubers don't make videos on the skins anymore. Every event I would watch Stylosa, and I would watch his videos on checking out the skins, because I wanted to see the skins, and I would be, you know, away from my Xbox or my computer to be able to see them myself. So I'd watch his videos to check them out before I got home or whatever. I mean, I was excited to see the new skins. But now I don't care. I'll go and look at the shop every time it says that there's something new, and I'll check it out, and a lot of the skins now kind of suck. And even if they didn't suck, $20 for a legendary skin is way too expensive. I mean, personally, I think it's silly to spend money on any of these games that have cosmetics in their FPS games, because you can't see your character. But at least with Overwatch, I can kind of get it because it does change the gun model. And so if you're buying it mostly for that, which is how I would look at skins whenever, you know, Overwatch 1 was a thing, it was always, well, what does the gun look like? Because that's what I'm going to be looking at, right? I don't really care, because everybody else gets to see the skin. I don't get to see the skin unless I'm emoting. Everybody else gets to see that. All I get to see is the gun. Does the gun look cool? Alright. But also back then, it was easier to get skins. I mean, loot boxes suck, right? They'll always be gambling. I mean, they are. But I was able to get whatever skin I wanted without having to spend a single cent. I never spent any money outside of just buying the game. Everything I got through playing. Overwatch 2, if I want to get anything, I either have to pay up or I have to grind this game. And I'm not doing that. It's not gonna happen. Overwatch 2 is dead, and now it's just Overwatch 1 again. And that's really unfortunate, because the game is going to get stale. I believe we're getting summer games again for, what, 6th year in a row? Maybe longer, I don't know. I've been playing this game for so long. I want to say 6 years in a row. And I don't care. I haven't cared since, like, the 2nd year, you know? It's the same thing over and over again. And it's just boring. It's so boring. The little mini events that they've been doing, you go through it once and it's like, well, it was different. Not necessarily good, but it was something different for a second. But it never changes, so that becomes stale, like, instantly. And the little events that they do for skins are really only worth doing for the Battle Pass XP, if you even care about the stuff in the Battle Pass, which I usually don't, because I don't have enough points to buy the Battle Pass. I believe there's some content creators and things saying that they're going to leave after Season 6. Season 6 is whenever we get some story content, which is just going to be the same stuff that we've been getting in Overwatch 1. I'm sure they'll add a new one, I guess. But, and then I think we get a new character, a new medic. And that's really not going to be enough to keep people interested, because it's going to just be like Overwatch 1. Everybody's already seen this. Everybody's already been through this. Nobody cares anymore. We don't care. If they want to pull people in, they're going to have to do a season that's really big, right? It's going to have to add a substantial amount of content. Maybe more than one character, but honestly, in order to do that, I'm pretty sure they're going to have to stop putting out content for a while, because that's the only way they seem to be able to do that sort of thing. And even then, they don't do that well. They only got 3 characters after that huge drought for Overwatch 1. That was pathetic. You know, if they're going to be adding these story missions, how big are the story missions? How many are there? Is it just one? Does it take 5 minutes to complete? That's not good enough. And that's sort of all I really wanted to talk about. I just wanted to do a little mini rant about this because, man, I've been playing this game since beta. And I honestly didn't know anything about it until the beta. I didn't even know it existed until a friend told me, hey, I want to check out this Overwatch game. They're doing a beta. And I was like, alright, let's do it. And I fell in love with Overwatch. It was one of my favorite games for like 3-4 years. I was playing it just about every day for those 3 to 4 years. And I would watch all the YouTube videos, the Sombra ARG, even though it went on forever. I loved that. I stayed glued to that stuff. You know, the fake leaks, you know, people were creating these fake character models and being like, look, we found the Sombra character model. Like, I was watching all that stuff. I loved this game. And so it's so disappointing to see what it's become. And to know that I want something else now, you know? I'll probably always boot up Overwatch every time there's a new character, just to check them out, just to see what it is. Maybe there's a world where they create something that makes me want to log in every day again. You know, I'll always hop in to check out the new content. But otherwise, I really don't care about logging into the game every day. I want to move on to something else, same as everyone else. But I don't think the game's going to die ever. I think Overwatch 1, which is what this is now, it's just back to Overwatch 1, will be alive for a long time. But Overwatch 2, that game's dead.